Welcome everybody back to Outcastic Revivals. This is D&B. We just talking about One Piece still. I just wanted to give y'all a little background as far as like my fandom and where my love for it came from, and then also just to talk about more hype shit because, like I said, the chapter is coming out unofficially tomorrow and officially on Sunday. I'm thinking there's no breaks. If there's a break, that's gonna be crazy. Just because you was off for a month, and then if you get a breakdown after the month, it's not atypical, but it would be like, what the fuck? But anyway, yeah, I'm super excited. I told y'all yesterday that I was super excited. I gave a little brief spoiler discussion as far as what was released so far for 1054. Now we're gonna talk about everything that's kind of like led up to this point. So maybe this will be a video just recapping Wano so far. Like a brief brush over like everything that's happened up to Wano and then everything that happened in Wano. I'm still deciding if we should do that or if I should make another video just doing that. Like I feel like I'm gonna do another video. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do another video breaking down everything that happened up to Wano, like different arcs, and then my interpretation of different arcs, and then everything that happened in Wano, like the first 3 acts, and then where we are right now, and then just have a discussion on that, because I feel like this whole saga of One Piece is going to end in like 3 years. It's going to end in 3 years to 5 years. I think it's only going 3 to 5. Oda likes to write long arcs, as evident from what we've seen of Wano, Dressrosa. Every big arc in the second half of the story has been ridiculously long. And so that's where we're at. And if this is the final one and we're going to Laugh Tale and we still have to go to Elbaf and we still have to do all these other stuff before we get to Laugh Tale, and then the reaction after Luffy and go to Laugh Tale, it's going to be like 3 to 5 years. It has to be, because Usopp's goal was to get to Elbaf, so we have to do a whole arc because that's where they wanted to go. And then we kind of want to know. Me personally, I kind of want to know. Big Mom wanted to marry within their family so she could be giant. Lola ran and chose to go there, and then they've hated her since that, and they've hated her before that because she killed mad at people. So what's happening in Elbaf too? Like I really want to know. And then since it's not affiliated with the world government, is it affiliated? I don't think it's affiliated with the world government either. So that's another country that's been around for generations that has not fucked with the government, and they have not done anything. So it's like Wano was there, and then we found out why they didn't mess with Wano, because of the powerful people that was there, and the fact that they were isolated, and the fact that they let Kaido do whatever because they did not care and they could not stop him. So I'm feeling like Elbaf is just a different version of that same scenario, where it's like, we can't stop them, we don't care what they're doing, they're not affiliated with us, fuck them. And then I'm excited for that. So I want to see that aspect. But I feel like going into a country like that with that kind of dynamic, it's like Wano again. So we're gonna be in there for a while. And then plus there's still some mysteries and places that I've really wanted to go. I really want Oda to take them to, and it hasn't been solved. Like, what is the All Blue? What is the All Blue? And how is Sanji gonna go to the All Blue to get this perfect these cooking ingredients like the fish and all that shit in the All Blue? I want to know where that is. How far is Nami in documenting all the maps of the world? Because I'm pretty sure since she's been with the crew, she's made more maps. They have to have made a map for Wano, for Dressrosa. They had to make these maps, but all those places that they left literally were destroyed. So that's why it's perfect that she's making the maps. And I just want to know how far that is. And then we already know where Zoro's going with his dream. Chopper's dream being the best doctor. His record is stamped based on curing everything with Queen's disease. His record is stamped as one of the best doctors in the world. And then Jinbei is Jinbei. So he's no one can fuck with him on like the helmsman part. So he's bananas. Frankie made literally outside of think Oral Jackson. I think the Sunny is like the second strongest outside of the Oral Jackson, maybe Shanks' ship. Yeah, there's a few others. There's a few other ships. But outside of those and Shanks' ship, maybe possibly Blackbeard, because I don't know how you surviving with just a raft. That's just ridiculous. Those are the strongest ships in the sea. Was Shanks, Luffy's, and Rogers. So I'm like, and that giant ship and Blackbeard's. So like, how's that? So Frankie's already one of the best shipwrights in the world, and yeah, like everybody in the crew is going to be recognized after Wano as one of the best in the world at what they do, and that was their goal was being the best and being universally recognized as the best in their goal, and they're getting recognized for that. So now it's like, well, they gotta prove it, and they gotta go to these places now that they're recognized that they gotta prove it and go to these places. So I'm excited for that. And then based on chapter 1053, Kid has an obsession with the Yonkos. We already knew that, but we kind of had a feeling that he was gonna go at the Luffy, based on their dynamic and rivalry they have. I'm feeling like they're trying to set that up like or they're trying to set them three up like a mini Roger Whitebeard and Whitebeard and not Odin, because I don't see Law as Odin. Like Shiki, like kind of that realm. Whereas like they're all three powerful individual captains. They all are rivals of each other. They're cordial, but they don't fuck with each other like that. Like they're cordial, they have respect for each other. They'll fight for them, but they'll see themselves as rivals. So like that's the dynamic I'm getting with this one. That Law, Luffy, and Kid, they're the same. They're just cordial and friendly with each other, but they see themselves as rivals. Just like Whitebeard, Roger, and I'm guessing Shiki. I could put Shiki in that category because Shiki went to Whitebeard, and he tried to get Whitebeard to join him on some like yo, I got a plan 20 years, da 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 da. And Whitebeard was like, fuck out of here. Plus, it's already been crew, Whitebeard and Shiki from Rocks and shit, and Roger fought them. So it's kind of like I feel like that's the dynamic they've had, where they were always rivals, and then that's the dynamic Luffy, Kid, and Law have, where they're always rivals. So it's like that's a cool thing to see being set up. Other than that, there's like a whole bunch of stuff that I want to get into, but I can't because I want to do that in like other videos. Like we could talk about them. And I kind of really want to just talk about Wano a little bit, just because everything is like getting ready to get ramped up now that we're starting again. So like there was a lot of interesting stuff now that came out of Wano that I did not expect going into it. I did expect it to be long. Like all of us as fans, we knew this arc was going to be ridiculously long. And it's been hyped for like, I'm not going to say 10 years. When did they make that first remark about Wano? Because it must have been like since 2022. It was like 2000. It's been hyped for a while that we knew Wano was coming. So the fact that everything happened the way it did, with Luffy's awakening, being recognized as Luffy's awakening, and not just Luffy's. We saw kids, we saw Laws. Zoro is now literally becoming the Dark King, like Rayleigh at the end of his fight with King. Sanji is basically a superhuman after his fight with Queen. And it's just like, what is next now? Like, what is next for the crew now? Because it's like they've done everything, and I'm more sorry. Hold on, let me fix the mic. They've done everything. I feel like they've done everything to be universally recognized. Like this Luffy's bounty. It makes sense because he's done everything. I feel like to be universally recognized without trying to be universally recognized. Like he's been everywhere. He's done everything he wanted to do. And every place he's been and wanted to do something, he's fucked up the town, but he's changed the culture and the dynamic of what they were doing. So that's why his bounty is worth $3 billion, because every place he's been, he's made a name, he's caused havoc and changed everything, and the status quo has changed. So that's why he got that. Same with Law. Kid, I don't think Kid just been on some like bounty shit. I feel like Kid hasn't done that. Kid's just been on some like, yo, I'm going to beat up all the Yonkos and get my name that way. And whereas Luffy and by proxy now Law, since Dressrosa, Law has been doing that, and even a little bit before with I'm gonna say since Dressrosa. I feel like since Dressrosa, like before Law had a personal vendetta against Doflamingo, so that's why he was fucking up Doflamingo shit. Ever since Dressrosa, I feel like now Law has been on some like destabilizing shit with Luffy by proxy. Like it's just been accidental. And every person under that family tree of Garp has been a disruptor in a way of the status quo. Like Ace was like that because he was raised by Garp. Of course, Dragon, because he's Revolutionary Dragon. Luffy is like that. Sabo through proxy is like that. And Kobe is like that. So I'm like, I don't know about Helmeppo, but everyone under that learning tree or that family, that learning familial tree of Garp has always been someone who is one destabilizing the status quo of one organization or organizations. I mean, look at all those characters I named. Every single one of them has done something crazy. So, but and I feel like within Wano, each character except for Garp and Dragon, and obviously the ones that are dead, each one of them played a major role. Like Luffy, well, obviously Luffy. Kobe is in the division with X Drake, and they fucking are going after Ball Hand. Yo, we gotta find out what that one is too. That's why I feel like we're still in Wano. My fault. I'm switching subjects, going back and forth. But that's why I feel like we're in another chapter of Wano. I mean, we're about to get in the fourth act of Wano, because what is going on with that? Like, is Boa Hancock? Is that the reason why Buggy got the bounty? Was because Boa Hancock joined him because they were going after her? If that's the case, crazy. But I feel like all of them, Luffy, Luffy, Kobe, and Sabo are all fucking up their individual organizations and destabilizing them in different ways, right? I feel like and what I mean is Kobe is doing it, but he's being more covert. He's going up the system, but he's destabilizing it. Whereas before, though, the status quo and the Marines were everything's dictated to them, and they just go after the people that they're told to go after. And then with this covert secret division that he's in with X Drake, they're like the CP9 of the Marines, but they're not dickheads. Whereas the CP agents are all dickheads, like every single one of them. So but they're also covert, so that's why you can't trust them either. Like you can't trust them because they're going like X Drake specifically. You cannot trust him because at the drop of a dime, even though he's a Navy soldier, he has no ties to these pirates. So he'll he'll turn and do anything that's advantageous to him. They can't trust him. And now that it's outed that it's outed, like Apu was going to tell. Apu was going to tell and run it off. So it's outed that Drake is military. So they can't use him. So they got to go with Kobe. So I feel like that's my opinion. They got to go with Kobe. And so Kobe's going to destabilize the world government, the Marines, naval status quo, the way they do things. That's one aspect. Luffy obviously is everything. Luffy went from being a skinny 18-year-old hopping out the barrel the first appearance we saw him to now being one of the Yonkos, only worth $3 billion, 3 billion berries, has 5 gears, and is considered a god. Is considered a unstoppable monkey monster / has a god tier fruit. Has a god tier fruit. I'll repeat that. And has just beaten arguably, I cannot say that word correctly. Arguably the still said that word wrong. Has beaten the strongest Yonko, considered the strongest Yonko right now. And then with Sabo, if this is true, if this part of this thing is true, Sabo went nuts up there, like in Mary Joa went nuts up there, and I knew he went nuts up there, and in the fact that, well, we don't know if they escaped or not, but the fact that they went up there only 4 deep just to get Kuma, knowing that the Admirals was up there, knowing that the Reverie was up there, and you still went up there, knowing that all these people were going to be up there just to kidnap back Kuma, and he could never come back to himself again. The fact that you had to dad, that's ridiculous. So, and Dragon didn't want to be known, and if this goes well, and it sounded like it had its hardships, but you completed your goal, you are now more recognized than fucking Dragon. So, and you're the second in command. So all that is crazy. So, to me, they are all destabilizing their individual organizations with their actions, and they're changing the culture. And it goes back to what Law said about he broke the gear. There's no turning back. I feel like those 3 individuals under Garp's learning tree, and even Dragon, but we don't know much about Dragon, so I can't really speak on Dragon's personality because we don't know. But the 3 individuals that I just spoke on, we know their personalities for the most part, and their actions have led to these events that we're in now. And you could tell which one led the other. Like Luffy's events and actions and everything that he's done throughout the story that we've been privy to has led to the response of the Navy, which has led to the response of the revolutionaries.